Screen is projecting. Just type in a simple yes or no.
Voice is audible, but Karthik, it is not clear.
Voice. Okay.
Ah.
Just give me a second. Okay. Is it audible now? Hello?
Yes. Yes, Karthik.
Okay. All right. Okay. So today, me and Rahul are going to present a small presentation on Cod's rules. So let's start with a preface or a context of who Cod was. All right. So he was the father of relational databases. So if you think your DBMS portion is too big, that's because of him. Okay. So he developed a relational model in the early 70s. So he developed a simple model that defined the rules of if something has to be a relational, then it had to follow or adhere to these rules. So these were 13 rules that were defined by COD. And that so these are the rules. These are 13 rules that define the ideal relational database. And so he gave them an 85. All right. So here's the funny thing: no database has ever satisfied all 13 of those rules. Okay, even Oracle that we use satisfies about 8.5 of them. Okay, so moving on, let's start with rule 0. So there were 13 rules, but it was popularly known as 12 rules because so the first rule is rule 0, the foundation rule. So what this rule states is if any database calls itself a relational database management system, it must be able to manage the database entirely through its relational capabilities. So this means if a database is to be relational, or if it advertises to be a relational database management system, it should be able to do everything or perform all its functions through its relational capacity. Okay, so now moving on to the first rule, that is rule of information. So the first rule, it states that all data presented by the database to the user should be in a tabular format, i.e. all values should be in a row in columns within rows. So so as we have seen, for example, let's take the example of MySQL. Okay, so all the data that we see is in a tabular format within rows and columns. And for example, even if you do a simple select query for one record, you'll see that the output is in a tabular format. So everything related to the presented to the user, to us, in a tabular format. So for example, Oracle or MySQL follows this rule, the rule number 1, that all data should be presented in a tabular format. So that's the rule 1, rule of information. Rule 2, rule of guaranteed access. Now all data, according to this, all data should be accessible without ambiguity. That means if I want to access any particular data, that I should be able to do that without any ambiguity. Okay, so this rule implies the fundamental requirement of primary keys. So how do you remove ambiguity? That you add primary keys so that you can easily distinguish between each data. All right, so the format being the table name, primary key, and the attribute that you want. Right, so use this format, somewhat adhering to this format. You should be, the database that you provide should be able to guarantee that there would be no ambiguity in the data, and that I will be able to pick out individual information or individual data from my database. And one thing that you're not allowed to do is use pointers. So pointers are also used to point out to some particular that you want. So use of pointers to get this data is a violation of this rule. So it should be able to provide or pick out information, selected information that the user wants without ambiguity. So that's rule 2, rule of guaranteed access. So the access to the information is guaranteed. The rule it's rule 3, rule of systematic null value support. So we all know that wherever there is data, there will be data that is missing or inappropriate, or there is no value at all. So that we refer to those values as null values, right? So all the data that is missing, inappropriate, or has no value is referred to as null value. Now, any value should be allowed to remain empty or missing and should be treated as such. So in my database, I should be allowed to put in null values. That is, I do not provide value to that particular cell at all. And I should be able to do that. And database should also identify that particular cell as null. So what that means is, now what does this imply? This implies is if you have null values in your database or in your table, there should be a consistent systematic way to deal with these. So if I have values in my table, I should still be able to perform all my difficulties, and should consistent and systematic. So if your database does that, it follows allowed to be null. So it's obvious that primary key should be unique and not be null. So this rule implies that as well. So for example, all MySQL and Oracle, we are allowed to put in null values. If we consider that cell block of cell, and our database could be those. Moving on to rule 4, rule of active online catalog. So relational databases. So before I get to the rule, you need to know there's something called as metadata or system catalog, or you can call it as a data dictionary. These are the 3 synonyms I found online. So what is metadata? Metadata simply means information about the data or data about data. So for example, let's say, take a simple example. You have a table. Now the information about the table. So the information, for example, what are the tables, what is the table name, what are the columns, what are the constraints put on those columns, what is the table relationship, how is that table, or what is the relationship between table 1 and table 2. So that data has to be defined or stored somewhere. So that is stored under data dictionaries. All right, so that it is also called as system catalog or metadata, right? So relational databases, so this is called as metadata, the data about the data. So what is the rule? Rule 4 states that relational databases must provide access to its structure. The structure refers to the metadata. So how we define the table is basically the structure of the table. The access to its structure with the same tools that are used to access its data. So for example, if I use a select query to access data inside a table, all right, so I should also be allowed to use select queries to get the data about the table. So information about the tables. If I want to get the information about the table, I should be able to use the same tools. So that is rule 4 of CODS rules. So if you have seen MySQL and Oracle supports this. So if you use the select query on a table, you can probably get the data about the table, not the data in the table, but data about the table as well. So that is rule 4. Moving on to rule 5, rule of comprehensive data sublanguage. So what this simply says is the database must have at least one language that with linear syntax that supports the following things. Data definition. So you should be allowed to use that linear syntax or that simple language to define data inside your database, to manipulate the data. For example, you define database using create table, then you define or manipulate data using an update query or delete query, right? And then to integrate data, to integrate different data together and for transaction control. So if your database has a language, a defined language that does all these things, then it follows rule 5. So for example, SQL, structured query language, is a simple language with linear syntax that does this. And another thing is it should allow, this language can allow direct access. If you want to directly type into a data, for example, if we directly use MySQL on a terminal, it should we should be able to use that language there, as well as when we use it with an application. So for example, if I have a simple Java application, I should be able to use the same language to access my database via my Java application. So that is rule 5 of CODS rules, rule of comprehensive data sublanguage. Rule 6 is the rule of updation. So what this means is all rules that can be updated theoretically. So all data that can, all rows or all the data that can be updated theoretically must be updated in the system. So that means our database should allow us the same level of data manipulation to the view, with that view that is available via direct access. So if we have a table and we have a view of that table, so if I update something in the table, I should be allowed to do the same operation via my view. So if I update or delete something inside my view, I should be able to do that. If I'm able to do that in my original table, I should be able to do that in my view as well. So that is rule 6, the rule of view updation. So these are the first 6 or first 7 rules of CORDS. Now over to you, Rahul. He'll be explaining rule 7 through rule 12.
Yeah, sure. Well,
I'll just
I'll
stop
be
presenting.
yeah, sure. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, Rahul, it's visible.
Yeah, okay. So the seventh rule that we can see here is relational level operation. So it states that there must be insert, delete, update operations at each level of relation. Set operations like union, intersection, and minus should also be supported. Which basically means that your database should not be limited for the update and delete. These all queries should not be limited to a single row. It also should support for multiple row operations for like union and intersection and minus. So for example, if we have a employee database with salary in it, and suppose there is a lot of profit in suppose some festival, due to some festival, and we have to hike the salary of each and every employee, suppose by any amount of percent. So that should be done by completely using a single query, not basically that you should not be doing each and every each and every row should not be updated individually. A single query should support all the row updations. So that's our rule number 7. Moving on to rule number 8, physical data independence. Physical storage of data should not matter to the system. If say some file supporting table is renamed, moved from one disk to another, it should not affect the application. It's a simple rule that your database should be independent of the storage system that you are having. If suppose you are having a server through which you are accessing the database, so if the server is changed to another server and the database is moved to another server, it should not affect the application to fetch the data from that database. Now rule number 9, logical data independence. If there is a change in the logical structure, table structure of the database, the user view of data should not change. Say if a table is split into two tables, a new view should give result as the join of the two tables. So basically this rule suggests that the logical data must not affect the applications which uses it. For example, if two tables are merged or split, two different tables, there should not be impact or change on the user application. As we've already seen in the normalization process, we split a table into two parts to reduce the redundancy. So that should not affect the data. That should not affect the application to fetch the data from the database system. Now moving on, integrity independence. A database should be able to enforce its own integrity rather than using other programs. Key and check constraints, trigger, etc. should be stored in data dictionary. This also makes RDMS independent of frontend. Basically, this rule states that your database should be independent of its frontend. Because we know we use database management systems for backend, and we use various different frameworks and all for the front end. So your database should be independent of the front end, that so that you can use so you can update or change your database through backend part also. Like suppose if you are using server client model, you should not be if you are using server client model, you should be able to directly access the server using some scripting language, so that you can update the data in the backend only. So there is no relation between the front end and the backend, so that you have to rely on front end to update your backend. Moving on to rule number 11, distribution independence. A database should work properly regardless of its distribution across the network. Even if a database is geographically distributed with data stored in pieces, the end user should get an impression that it is stored at the same place. This lays the foundation of distributed database. For example, if we are having a database in which the data is stored in a couple of servers, so consider 3 servers, and your front end application should be viable to access the data from all those servers, and all the data from the database should be evenly supplied to the front end, so that the user has the experience that the data is fetched from a common from a compact centralized database system, so that uh, there are no time delays which we can see through front end. Moving on, the non-subversion rule. If low-level access is allowed to a system, it should not be able to subvert or bypass integrity rules to change the data. This can be achieved by some sort of locking or encryption. We know that our basically we know that our code is compiled and then turned to assembly language, and then it is turned to bytecode or bitcode understandable by the that is understandable by the machine. So if we are using a high level language, and then an assembly level language should not be able to change the database system, so that there are security issues relating to that database. So basically your database should be encrypted from the third party accesses also. So this is all the 12 rules of 12 chord rules, and I conclude here by saying that all these 12 rules are mandatory to be applied over a relation while designing a relational database. But as we can see here, the information provided here, that even Oracle follows only 8.5 rules out of 13. So basically, these are quite a bit difficult type of rules. So thank you guys for patiently listening to us, and I'll stop presenting my screen now. So thank you all.
Yes, all 12 rules are cleared with you, meaning any doubt in any of the rule. These are very, very important. Whenever you are designing any relational table, you have to design such a table, or your design should be such a good that it should follow at least maximum rules of this chords. Not completely, but at least. Clear? Any doubt? Yes? Yes, any doubt? No. Rahul, you have only taught, so might be you don't have any doubts. But what about others? Sampada, Rishabh, Tejas, Rishabh, okay, Kalpesh, Ishan. Okay. Now we are playing one game on SQL on Kahoot. Okay. So those who will be the winner, top 3 winners will be getting some benefit from my side. Clear? So shall I display? And rule for all this playing this Kahoot is you have to put your roll number, your complete sequence of your roll number. Okay. As a player, you have to put a roll number. Don't put any funny names. Okay. I'll just present my screen. I'm presenting my screen. Just check the game pin is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so let's join. Before answering, try to read the question properly. Sampada, remove your name. Rutuja, put your roll number. Rutuja Naik. 44 students are there. One is me. Then 43 should connect. Make it fast. Yes, students, make it fast. Who is this captain? Remove that. Put roll number. What rest of the students are doing? Yes, make it fast. Those who are winner, top 3 winner will get a e-certificate based on SQL. And again, there will be benefits in terms of term work also. Make it fast. Why people are leaving from the meeting? It's not that much tough. In next 2 minutes, I will be stopping all these entries. We'll be starting our game. Anyone is still left? Please join immediately. Is it taking that much time? Shall we start? Okay, Rishabh. Be ready. First question. Which SQL function is used to count the number of rows in a SQL query? Roll number 70, 48, 51. Next question. Which of the following SQL clause is used to delete tuples from database table? Oh, roll number 4 is on top. Which of the following is not a DDL command? Roll number 4. If you don't specify ascending or descending after SQL order by clause, the following is used by default. That's great. Roll number 14. Which operator performs pattern matching? Roll number 14. The SQL where clause. It only limits the row where clause. Who is on top now? Roll number 14. A view is which of the following? Roll number 14 and 3. It's 8 number question. Only 9. Which of the following is a valid SQL for an index? That's great. 14 is on top. It's question number 10. Correct order of the keywords of SQL statements. चलो इतना तो पता है. 26 people knows this. A subquery in a SQL statement is enclosed in. Great. Oh, 14. Roll number 3 is on top now. It's 12th number question. Which of the following are the which of the following are the 5 built-in functions provided by SQL? Built-in functions. That's great. 28 people knows that. All aggregate functions. Roll number 3 is on top. The having clause does which of the following? What is the use of having clause? Only 8 people knows having clause. Oh, roll number 3 on top. To remove duplicate rows from the result of the select, dash qualifier specified must be included. Only unique, distinct, or single. That's great. 20 people knows. 14 again come back in top. It's a 15th number question. Hmm, 26 is on top now. Next question, 16th. SQL statement that is equal to the following. Select name from customer where state equal to VA, which is equivalent statement. Only 4 people corrected. 26 again on top. 17th question out of 20. SQL is only 7 people knows. SQL is not a database management system. SQL is a database sublanguage. 26 on top. 18th number question. It's join. Okay, 27 people knows this. Now be ready. Yeah? Now it's 19th number question. That's great. 22 people knows the no, only 8 people knows the correct answer. Repeated attribute names, column name same नहीं होगा. Now last question. Huh? Are you ready? Shall we start? Which of the following is a comparison operator in SQL? Comparison operator. It's compare. Both the things are. Roll number 26. On second position, roll number 14. Roll number 42. Great. Congratulations, all three. Who is roll number 42?
Siddhi, ma'am.
Siddhi. Great, Siddhi. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who is roll number 14? Roll number 14. अरे रोल नंबर 14 कौन है? And 26?
Ma'am Bhushan.
Bhushan. Great. Congratulations. And roll number 14?
अभिषेक चिकुर्डीकर.
Great, all three. मतलब आप लोगों का ध्यान रहता है. Hope you guys enjoyed. था ना अच्छा? Interesting. Something different in this virtual way of teaching. So, comparison operator. What was the answer? क्या था उसका, इक्वल टू या डबल इक्वल टू? सिंगल इक्वल टू इज करेक्ट. Yeah, it was mistaken. It should be equal to. Single equal to. Double equal to, it is wrong. Yeah, single. They just single equal to is right. Single equal to should be the correct answer. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन की वजह से किसका चांस मिस हो गया? मेरा. ओके तेजस, आई विल कंसिडर. कार्तिक भी था क्या? ओके फाइन. We have in this way we have completed. Maybe था, maybe. Okay, Rishabh. All are good. For me, all students are good. No issue. रैंक से क्या करना है, मुझे पता है who are studying and who are not studying. Okay? हाँ. Uh, in this way, we have completed our unit number 1, 2, and 3. And from next lecture, I am planning to take unit number 6, so that we'll complete our practicals. Okay, so I'll be directly starting with unit number 6. Then I'll be I am thinking on that कि अगर practical में unit number 6 cover हो रहा है, तो I'll be starting in theory next unit, like that. So next week I'll be thinking on that and I'll tell you. How many of you are left with the project title finalization? Yes. Anyone is still remaining? हेलो, प्रोजेक्ट टाइटल का क्या हो गया? कोई तो बात करोगे ना? क्या वो सबने फाइनल हो गया? सबका फाइनल है? अच्छा, कोई ऐसा ग्रुप है जिनको स्पॉन्सर्ड प्रोजेक्ट चाहिए, जिनको पैसे भी मिलेंगे इफ यू कंप्लीट द प्रोजेक्ट? इफ यू वांट एनीवन, प्लीज लेट मी नो. Clear? Okay, that's it for today's lecture. Hope you have enjoyed. हाँ. Rishabh, what is your title? Project title? Rahul and Rishabh? I am independent. No worries. I can be your group partner. No issue. I can help you. Yeah. No issue. If you can if alone you are doing any project, I don't have any problem. Okay? Fine. Rahul, you have decided with your title. Bhushan, Siddhi have already decided. Virendra, what you are doing? You complete that TNP wala project. Yes, Virendra. Kalpish is already done with this. Okay. What about others? Akshata, Akshata Patil, Ajay, Aishwarya, Mayank. Mayank कुठे है? And are both the Tanvi present in the lecture? Tanvi Bhosle and you have been shortlisted na for that code chef. Yeah, great. Prepare yourself properly. Both Tanvi. Sushil, which project you are doing? सुशील और अश्विन क्यों नहीं दिखता है लेक्चर में? वेयर इज अश्विन? Okay, hence we'll stop our lecture here. So we'll Meeting in next lecture on Tuesday. Okay, fine. ठीक है? So I'll stop this meeting. Hope you all enjoyed.